Hey guys, good morning. Happy Wednesday. It's Daryl here. It's 10 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. And this is my post bike ride video. As my regular viewers will know, this is when I do some of my heavy thinking, my hour-long 10-mile bike ride. All right, today's video, it's about Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. I've been seething about Mike Pompeo and his comment. His comment that it's been all over TV, it's been all over the place. His comment, I think it was yesterday, that he said when asked about smooth transition to the next president, he said it will be a smooth transition to another second term of Donald Trump. Point blank. That's what he said in front of a room full of press. I was looking this up because initially I believe it was on the screen, the TV screen, that this was happening in Australia. I'm not sure. I can't confirm that. That makes it worse for me. I'll get to that in a minute. All right, so that ticked me off. It really did. I think all of us, Joe Biden included, have been very tolerant up till now, letting Trump and his supporters have their little fit, their antics. I think we've all, Joe Biden included, all of us have been kind of tolerant, but that just struck me the wrong way. Mike Pompeo, Secretary of State, that means, he is the man in the Trump administration, in our government, that's out there connecting with the rest of the world, representing us to the rest of the world. Again, I wasn't sure, because to me it would be worse if this was happening in Australia, out in the world. And he's just, to me, what he said was incredibly disrespectful to the voters of this country, to our democracy, to everything we stand for. Just point blank saying it's going to be another 4 years of Donald Trump. It's bad enough that any Trump supporter or anybody really, they're just going to say that point blank. It's just like a big screw you to the 75 million people that voted for Joe Biden, to our democracy, to our election, to everything. It's a big screw you. And plus the look on Pompeo's face when he said that, man, I don't get angry easy these days. I've gotten a lot better with anger issues, but that ticked me off. Okay, so I came home. Like I said, I was on my bike ride and I was thinking all this over and it was making me angry. So I read up more on the whole situation, that press conference where he said that. Because initially I wanted to see if it was overseas, again, because that just added one more insult to the whole thing. All right, but it turns out there was a little more. The media just showed that one clip. There was a little more that apparently he continued on. Now this makes it slightly not as bad because he just point blank said there'll be another 4 years of Trump, another second term. That's the transition will be to that. And to me, it was just he wouldn't acknowledge that they're counting the votes or that there's a system here or anything. It's just, this is what it's going to be. This is my boss, my ruler, my dictator is going to have another 4 years and screw everybody that voted for him. That's how I took it. But there's more. He said more. He continued on saying that the whole world is watching. All the votes will be counted. The electors will be picked. That part there, I'll get to that in a second. And the Constitution, our Constitution has rules for all this. I'm kind of paraphrasing. That's pretty close to exactly what he said. This followed his initial statement that all the media showed where he said it'll be a smooth transition to another 4 years of Trump, a second term. And then he continued on with this. So this is, I didn't find this out, so I investigated this statement a little more. Now, initially, that took the edge off because at least he was acknowledging the votes are going to be counted. Okay? It was, to me, it was a disgraceful thing to say for our democracy. Our man out, our Secretary of State out there in the world spreading this disinformation. But what really bothered me is when he started to talk about electors being selected and the Constitution has rules for this. It was like I had a sense that there was a plan, that he has a plan, that Trump and him and Attorney Barr There's something going on. Then I thought back to before the election, there was a couple news stories about how the Trump campaign was trying to pressure some of the red states, their legislatures, that putting the idea out there that if their state did swing blue, that they could substitute, they could substitute the electors that were gonna put their blue vote in for Trump loyalists, pulling out the electors that should represent the people, say Georgia or Pennsylvania, that the Trump campaign would somehow influence the legislatures in either Georgia or Pennsylvania to substitute electors and not do the will of the people. Substitute the electors for Trump loyalists, who would then actually put their vote in and swing Georgia red again. Now, of course, there would be all sorts of upheaval, and the crap would hit the fan. But then I thought more, and I got a little more worried, because Trump and his moves with the Pentagon and the State Department, the Department of Defense, in the video I just did before this, is he trying to make sure that the military and the Pentagon and our armed forces are loyal to him, that he has loyalists at the top? Is he preparing for a coup down the road? And maybe I'm worrying too much. Maybe I don't know. But when I saw Pompeo say this, a smooth transition into a second term for Donald Trump, and then when I read his statement about electors being selected, it's almost like he was hinting, like he was letting loose with a little, I could be wrong here, but it worries me. Until this is all said and done, it worries me that Trump isn't going to go out easy, that he's got something up his sleeve, and that Pompeo knows about it. Something with electors. What if, is it possible that, say, Nevada or Arizona or Michigan or Pennsylvania, Georgia, that the people, the overall vote was for Biden, but what if the Trump administration pressures the legislature into substituting electors that are loyal to Donald Trump, and that they're gonna put their electoral votes for Donald Trump regardless of what the people's vote was? Is that possible? So I know they were talking about this before the election. There was some hubbub about this. The Trump campaign was talking to Republican-leaning legislatures and Republican-leaning states about doing this, about the possibility of substituting electors. Again, if this happened, there would be an incredible outcry from the people that voted for Biden, and then there would be an incredible outcry from the Trump supporters. And there would be mayhem. And then I thought about the Pentagon and Trump installing his loyalists in there. And that's a worst case scenario. So let's hope that I'm wrong on this. It's just an idea. Like I said, and it all came from Mike Pompeo's statement that it's going to be a smooth transition into another second term, 4 years of Donald Trump. I don't know, something to think about, but I'll be happy when this is all over and Joe Biden is president. All right, you guys have a good day.